Hello everyone and welcome to another unboxing video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Nintendo Actually, we're not going to unbox that just yet. I've been sitting on this old footage and I've been meaning to use it. I just haven't had a chance to go ahead and share it. After the Nintendo Switch 2 experience in Los Angeles back in April, I shared a lot of videos regarding the different games that I played and my experience about it. But the one thing I didn't get to show was afterwards on your way out, you were gifted actually a really cool backpack, this backpack. And I meant to show it off and I just never got around to it. So we're just going to go ahead and do that today. When I first got to look at this backpack, I actually thought it was insulated. I thought, oh, I can use this as a cooler, but it's actually just padded real well, kind of like so like say if you wanted to put your laptops or whatever. But obviously, you're going to want to use it for your Switch 2 or other electronics. But I was really impressed with just all the different little pockets and the room that it had, considering the size of the backpack. It didn't feel like it was too big or heavy. All in all, I think it was a great gift and a great way to end the experience. And while you see me here struggling with the zippers and pockets and whatnot, I just wanted to, I guess, share my thoughts with just the Nintendo Switch 2 now that it's been out for a couple weeks. And I guess what what are my thoughts and I guess my hopes for the system in general. I don't think I'll make this video too long. I don't want to make it like one of my GrapTALKulars just because those those didn't do too well in general. So long form content I think I'm gonna stay away from at this time, or video essays or whatever. Yeah. Now, so far with the Switch 2, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I've really been able to get my feet wet with Mario Kart World, and I do think that it's a very strong launch title. I know it's really the only launch title they had, but whenever I get a Nintendo console, there's two games that I always know that I'm gonna have. And while I do prefer physical, if I have to get a digital just so I don't have to switch it out, it's fine because those games are not going to be going anywhere. And that's going to be a Mario Kart game and a Smash Brothers game. Guaranteed, those are always going to have some use in my household. So getting this game, Mario Kart World, was just a no brainer for me. Now, one thing I noticed with the way they did their launch, besides the fact that there's only one real big first party game to get, is the fact that they staggered the rest of their big first party titles basically one a month. I think Donkey Kong is coming out just in a couple weeks in July. And for the rest of the year, I'm pretty sure there's going to be one new big first party title each month. Metroid Prime, Pokemon, and I'm sure there's a few others that are escaping me. But generally speaking, I do like the idea of staggering those releases one a month, one big title a month, just because, for one, my wallet does appreciate it, but also it gives each title its own time to shine. They don't have to compete each other with regards to marketing. It could just come out and it can get all the press for that time frame, and then next month that'll be the next big thing. The other big thing that I liked that they had upon release was the GameCube Nintendo Switch Online emulators. Besides the Dreamcast, yeah, I would say that the Dreamcast and the GameCube were two of my favorite consoles, just because I was the right age at the time to enjoy them. I bought them with my own money, and I had family and friends that I could enjoy it with and really, really get into those multiplayer games. Just right off the bat, they released it with Soul Calibur, F-Zero GX, which are, I mean, GX was the last F-Zero that was released, and while it's really really hard, it was one of my favorites, and even today I think it holds up. Soul Calibur 2, the one with Link, for me that's kind of the peak of Soul Calibur. After Soul Calibur 3 and the issues I had with that, and my interest in the series just kind of tapered off after that. So Soul Calibur 2 was really where I really got into it the most. So I'm really glad that, even though I do have these games physical on my GameCube, well, I play them on my Wii right now, but just the fact that those are available, just, hey, I can play them on the big TV. I don't have to switch out consoles. I can play them with my kids right off the bat. That's just great. And I'm really looking forward to what other releases they're gonna have for the GameCube library. I think they already confirmed that they're gonna have the Pokemon XD and Pokemon Coliseum games coming out. I think they also said Mario Strikers, the first Mario Soccer game, the first Luigi's Mansion. And like I said, the GameCube has got such a strong library, and not even just first party titles. You've got the Fire Emblem games that came out for it. I think you had one of the 1080 snowboarding ones. Animal Crossing came out for GameCube. You've got the Mario sports games, Mario Golf and Mario Tennis. GameCube Mario Golf is, I think, in my opinion, the best one in the series. A bunch of the Mario parties came out for the GameCube. The Mario Baseball came out for the GameCube, and Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, the fact that one of the three released GameCube titles was a third-party title, Soul Calibur with Namco, even F Zero, that was technically a collaboration with Sega. A really good sign in terms of the third-party support that we'll get for those GameCube titles, because there were quite a few good third-party titles for the GameCube. I remember that a lot of the Dreamcast games were ported over to the GameCube. A lot of Sega stuff. We've got Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Sonic Heroes, Billy Hatcher. I don't think all of those were on Dreamcast, but I'm just saying for Sega games. What else was there? Fantasy Star Online. That's one of my. I mean, if I have to give a list of my top 5 games of all time, Fantasy Star Online on GameCube is going to be one of those. I played the heck out of that game with my brothers and my roommate in college. I still got my save file. I've still got my memory card right there on the side. I didn't quite make it a level 200, but I'm working on it. I promise. But yeah, if they if they re-release Fantasy Star Online, both the episode 1 and 2 and the episode 3, the card one, that's gonna be. I'm afraid about how much time I'm gonna sink into those. I mean, what other third party stuff we've got? Beautiful Joe 1 and 2. You've got the you've got the Rogue Squadron games. The first one on N64. They can go back and release that one if they didn't already. I'm not sure. They can release Rogue Squadron 2 and 3. You've got Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. You've got there was this Mega Man game. It was based on the Battle Network series, and I think they called it NT Warrior. I never owned it, but I rented that one, and I really liked what they did with it, where they turned the chip system of the Battle Network games and kind of made it. They combined it with a traditional Mega Man format where you go and you run and gun and jump around on stages and stuff, but you still got those chips, that deck of chips that you're using to do special moves and abilities. So I always thought that was a pretty cool game. I don't think that game has ever been released anywhere. Same with Twin Snake. So, bringing those back on the GameCube emulator would be great. Going back to Sega, you've got what was it, Shadow the Hedgehog? I don't know if that one is going to be released ever, ever, ever. But I mean, it can. And Time Splitters. They had N64 had GoldenEye, and then a marked improvement was Perfect Dark, and then even a more marked improvement was the Time Splitter series. I never played the first one, but I played two, and I had 2 and 3 on the GameCube, and those were just, if we're talking about just, the evolution of that type of gameplay, just from GoldenEye to Perfect Dark to Time Splitters. It's just Time Splitters is just the best. I would love to see that re-released on the GameCube. Just crazy with the amount of things you can do with the multiplayer. You can add bots, the different modes, virus, and all that crazy stuff. So that would be a lot of fun if they did release that on the GameCube. So yeah, so I could probably go on for quite a while talking about GameCube stuff. So I'm just gonna have to cut it there. But the next thing I wanted to talk about just really is, I guess, just what my hopes are for the Switch 2 going forward. I know that it's not really a full new console, it's really more of an upgrade. And honestly, I'm okay with that. What I wanted from the Switch 2 was I kind of wanted them to just make a Wii U. Give us a second screen. Give us, just the Wii U had so many unique experiences because of the hardware built in. And it's unfortunate that we kind of lost that with the transition to the Switch. I know the Wii U didn't do that great, but I think it had a lot of things going for it. Nintendo Land was a great experience. I mean, what was it? New Super Mario Brothers, where you can have the fifth player, touch the screen and do the little platforms, or what was it, Rayman Origins? That one played absolutely the best on the Wii U, just because of the way certain stages or certain little gimmicks in the stages worked. It was built for using the gamepad. So, I don't. I'm not sure how they would pull it off. I guess you could probably do it with the mouse controls. That's probably how they're going to bring back. I hope they bring back the DS and the 3DS library. just because those systems had such a solid library of games. I know they're kind of trying. They released or they're going to release Bravely Default, which was a 3DS game. So if and they've also done they already released for Switch Theorhythm, the Final Fantasy music game. So that was a 3DS game originally. So if they can kind of figure out ways to bring those DS and 3DS games back, and they can use the Switch too. Maybe we don't need the second screen. Maybe they can do something with the mouse controls. If they get like a peripheral mouse pad or whatever, that could act as a second screen, sort of, or just make it a second screen altogether, like one of those drawing tablets that they have. So it doesn't have to be too complex. Just something so you can kind of see maps and this whatever the second screen did for the DS and 3DS. I think they could pull that off with the mouse. I have a feeling maybe that's what they're gonna do. I mean, usually they figure that stuff out way ahead of time, so it'll be neat to see how they integrate that. Really, I just want them to bring back Kid Icarus Uprising, which was my favorite 3DS game. So I guess that's really all I have to say about my thoughts on the Switch 2 and the release and all of that stuff. And hopefully you got to take a look at that cool backpack and all the little dumb stuff I put in there, all that Nintendo stuff that I had laying around. If anyone has any questions about that, or has some of the stuff that I was messing around with, let me know. I just put that in there just to kind of show off, I guess, a little bit. So yeah, I guess we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, so if you made it to the end, I do want to thank you so very much for watching. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.